Here's an example of how a hunter does not understand why a fellow colleague, a nurse, is not quicker on foot. The leader and manager is coaching the employee.
It's so irritating that we constantly have to wait for Kurt. How hard can it be? I've already told him how the task has to be solved.
How important is it that Kurt is working with your task?
Well, if Kurt's not starting on the task, we're not doing it as fast as we can.
What do you think is holding Kurt back?
That's what I don't understand. There's no reason to hold back.
What will it mean for you if you found out?
It'll mean that I know when I can count on Kurt.
Once you have told Kurt how to solve it, how does Kurt think it should be solved?
Well, I don't know that. He never says anything.
Hypothetically speaking, it can be that Kurt feels it is necessary to hold back and get things done in the right way, because you're not holding back. How true do you think it is in Kurt's case?
There could be some truth in that. I'm not holding back.
How can you get Kurt's true opinion?
Well, I can ask him.
Now that you know that Kurt is not as quick on foot in a dialogue as you are, what kind of patience does it demand from you?
Probably more than I would like to.
Is it worth it?
Yes, it is. I need this cooperation to continue in a better way.
The nurse Kurt is in general feeling less strong than his surroundings and has a general value that is about having acceptance for everyone's presence and opinions. It contradicts with the hunter's general belief of being stronger than his or her surroundings and therefore is able to command more in order to win. In this example, the hunter is dependent on Kurt and must learn how to understand him. If Kurt is asked what he thinks about his colleague, the hunter, he will most probably say that Kurt is pressing too hard and that it makes Kurt nervous and irritated. Kurt needs to learn how to tell his colleague in an honest and direct way what he needs to be able to solve the task. Here's another example of where a scientist does not understand why a conqueror wants to look at the future when she doesn't even know what the as-is situation is.
I don't understand why Pauline is so occupied with describing the future when we don't know what the as-is situation is. We have not yet thought things through, and we don't know much of what can go wrong yet.
What will it mean once you have thought it through?
That we're sure that we're doing the right thing.
That is a good perspective. Now that we also have to consider the expectations for us delivering time to market, how do you see Pauline contributing to that?
Well, she does have a way of getting an overview of how things can be done, but I just think that she's not thinking things through in a proper way.
Now that you say that Pauline is good at meeting the customer's demand for speed by getting the overview of a future solution, which overview can you then help her to get?
Well, I can give her a faster overview of what can go wrong and what we mostly have to focus on to deliver quality.
So what will you do now?
I'll try to get Pauline to split the responsibilities with me in a better way and agree upon clear roles in the project.
The scientist needs to find a way to meet Pauline with her overview. Most of all, the scientist would like to build up from facts and details, then structure it all to get the overview. This will mean an analysis that is way too complicated for Pauline to even consider wasting time on reading and understanding. If Pauline is asked about her colleague the scientist, she will most probably say that he or she is too focused on unimportant details and that it decreases speed. Pauline needs to learn how to meet the scientist's need for preparation to avoid mistakes. Pauline must listen carefully to what can go wrong and ask the manager to take the full responsibility for the risk. That way the scientist can relax and work efficiently. At the same time, Pauline gets access to a valuable source of information that will help her to deliver quality.